Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome back to my channel. As we have started to a very important topic that we learn how scientists identify unknown organism. For this purpose we use a system that is called dichotomous identification. This topic is very important for your exam because it teaches how to classify and identify organisms using their observable characters. So let's begin the video. Firstly we will discuss what is dichotomous key. So, dichotomous key is a tool that is used to identify an unknown organism by asking a series of questions. Each step in the key gives two choices. Only the word dichotomous means divided into two parts or two branches. At every step, we choose one of the two options and then move to the next step until the organism is identified. So, this is the basic method for the dichotomous key. Firstly, we will discuss the basic principle of dichotomous key. The basic key principle is that the key always begins with the general features and then moves to the more specific features. Each question must have two contrasting choices, opposite choices, that is based on the visible characteristic. And the dichotomous key is split the group into the two smaller groups. We are going to solve the first example, that is about the identification of the vertebrates, and this clears that how dichotomous key is used to identify the organisms. In this we have to identify the groups of vertebrates. As we know, the vertebrates is divided into the 5 groups, that is fish, amphibian, reptiles, birds and mammals. So let's identify the groups. In the first step we have two choices, that is cold-blooded and the warm-blooded. First we divide the vertebrate on the basis of their body temperature control. Cold-blooded depend on the environmental temperature, while the warm-blooded animals control their body temperature internally. So we use that if we prefer the organism is cold-blooded, then we move to the step 2, and if the organism is warm-blooded we move to the step 4. Now we consider that the organism is cold-blooded. So let's move to the step 2. In this step 2 we discuss the organism has fins but no limbs, and the second choice is it has 4 limbs. These both characters are totally opposite. If it has fins but no limbs, then it means that it is classified as a fish. The organism is fish. We discover a group of vertebrate that it is a fish. Now if the other point is that it has 4 limbs, this is not a fish. So we go to the step 3. In this step 3 we will discuss it has the scales on body, and the second is has scales on body. No scales or scales, there are the two choices. If there is no scales on the body, then it's mean it is the amphibian, such as frog, toads. These are all the amphibians. Now we look at the skins, and the no scales mean that it is amphibian. Now we discovered the second the group, that is amphibians. And if scales is present as in lizards and snakes, so it is arranged into the reptiles. These are the 3 steps, and we classified the 3 branches. Now we move to the first step, that here we said if it is warm-blooded move to the step 4. Now moving the step 4 and discuss that it has feathers or has fur. If it has feathers it is classified as bird, and if it has fur or hair, so it is classified as mammals. And thus this is the method that is used to identify the groups of vertebrates. Warm-blooded are divided on the basis of their body covering. Feathers identifies the birds, while the fur or the hair identifies the mammals. Now we discuss its summary. By using such a visible features, body temperature, fins or limbs, scales, feathers or fur, we can classify all the vertebrates into fish, amphibian, reptiles, bird and mammal. Now we have the second example, that is the about the invertebrates in a composite heap. We will discuss it that another example, that we have to identify the organism composite heap. In the first step we said that it has legs, and the second step is that no legs. if it has legs, we go to the step 5, and if it has no step 2, and if it has no legs, we move to the step 5. First, the organisms is classified on the basis and the absence of the leg. Now move to the step 2, that means it has legs. If it has legs, move to the step 2. Now, if it has legs, now the question arises, more than 6 legs or 6 legs. If it has the 6 legs, more than 6 legs, we move to the step 3, and if it has the 6 legs, then move to the step 4. Now moving toward the step 3, that is about that it has legs and its legs is more than 6. Now the question arises, that is the legs are short, flattened and the grey body. If it is like this, then it is classified as the woodlouse, and if the leg is long, brown yellow body, then it is classified as centipede. Now we use the body shape and color to identify the animals, and it is the way we identify the invertebrates. Now the second is the second point that we discuss in the first, that it has no legs. It has the 6 legs. Discuss the point that it has the 6 legs. On 6 legs, we say that the pincer on the last segment are hard wing covers. Now we're going to classify the presence of the pincers or hard wings helps to identify the insects. If it has the pincers on the last segments, it is called air wing, and if it has the hard wing covers, then it is known as beetle. In this way we will identify this. Now we identify the 4 organisms and we identify all this. We are not going to move the another step. Now moving the step 1, that is incomplete, because we said that if it has no leg, that we have to move to the step 5. If we moving to the step 5, we said that the body is segmented or not segmented. If it is segmented, then it is called the earthworm, and it is not segmented, then we have to identify, then we have to move the step 6. Animals without legs are now divided by the basis of the segmentation. Now if it has the no legs, no segments, then we have to move the step 6. In the step 6, we have identified on the basis and the absence of the shell. So we have to identify that if it has a shell or no shell. If it has the shell, it is known as the snail, and if it has no shell, then it is called the slug. So this is the method that is used to identify, and keep that in your mind that the dichotomous key carry out so to the that step, that we have to identify all the organism, and there is no chance that we show that go to the next step. If we said go to the step next step, it means that the dichotomous string is key is not completed. You can see in the last that there is the final, and we can identify the key at the last. Now here is an important point, that is the identification plan. These are the dichotomous ring. Now we are moving to the very important point, that is the that is about the identification plan. This diagram is used a general plan for identify organisms. Here is the first question, that is about, is it unicellular? If yes, if it is unicellular, if yes, so it's mean that we have to identify that we have to check the nucleus. If it has the nuclear membrane, then it is called as the protista, and if it has the no nuclear membrane, then it is known as the prokaryote. Keep that in your mind that if it is unicellular and have nuclear membrane, so it is known as protoctista, and if it has the unicellular and no nuclear membrane, then it is known as the prokaryote. So here is the first 2 organisms are identified. Now we are moving that if it's a unicellular. If it is not a unicellular, no, so it's mean that it is multicellular. Now we have to check structures. If it has a hyphae, okay, if it has a hyphae, it's mean that it is a fungi. And if it has the cell wall with chloroplast, and so it is known as the plant. Okay, and in the third one is that if it has no cell wall, that it is included in the plant cell. So this is the basic structure that is used to identify, and in this way we have prepared an identification plan. This plan shows how organisms are classified into major groups based on the number of cells, presence of nucleus, cell wall, chloroplast and hyphae. Now here there is the other example, that is about the laboratory glassware. So this is about the non-living, that the dichotomous key is used to identify the non-living characters as well. So we have to discuss this. Firstly, we will discuss the laboratory glassware. Our glassware are made up of glass, but different features. Key features are used like pouring spot, broad base. You can see that some have the broad base and some are the pouring spot, some have the straight sides and some are the sloping sides. So these are all the different shapes of these glasswares. The dichotomous key identifies beaker, measuring cylinders, boiling tubes, conical flask, rounded bottom flask. Even non-living objects can be classified using a dichotomous key if we choose suitable distinguish features. So how this is a way that we are going to start and how to construct our dichotomous rings. Firstly, we will observe. So this is a method that you can identify here. The first question is, has it got a sporing spot? Yes or no. If it is yes, then move to the step 2. Has it a broad base? If yes, then it is a beaker, and if no, then it is a measuring cylinder. So here the second point is completed. Now moving toward this, that it is a pouring spot. If it has a no pouring spot, then move to the step 3. So has it got straight sides for whole of its length? Then if it is yes, it is known as the boiling tube. And if it is the no, then move to the next step, that is the has it the sloping sides? If yes, this is the conical flask, and if no, then it is the round bottom flask. So in this way we can identify the non-living organ structures and the non-living objects by the help of dichotomous key. So here are the instructions that how to construct a dichotomous key. So dichotomous key steps is that firstly we will observe the specimen carefully. Then choose one clear feature, divide into two groups, write down two characteristic contrasting statements that is opposite to each others. Continue until all the items are identified, that we discussed, that no one will left or not say that move to the next step, and you have to say continue this even till it is identified. Next is exam important definition about dichotomous. A dichotomous is a key that is a tool. Dichotomous key is a tool used to identify organism by flowing series of paired contrasting statement based on observable features. No, you if you revise this, then you keep that in your mind. What is dichotomous mean? What is the first feature used to classify vertebrates? Which features separate birds from mammals? Which features separate snail from slug? Can dichotomous key used for the non-living objects? Dichotomous key helps scientists to identify unknown organisms by using simple visible features. They start with general features and more toward one specific ones. They are used for plants, animals, and even laboratory equipment. So students, this was all about the lecture. Hope you will enjoy it and you get it. If you found this lecture helpful, like the video, subscribe to the channel and share with your classmates. See you in the next video. In the coming lecture, we will discuss the future of organisms and the kingdom. See you in the next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.